We got a couple of questions on this topic. You said in an interview on CNBC that you had bought shares in JP Morgan for your personal account. Can you explain how you decide to make a personal investment versus one in your role as a fiduciary for us as shareholders of Berkshire? And while you're at it, could you please share some names of stocks you've recently bought for your own account?
Well, the truth is I like Wells Fargo better than I like JP Morgan, but I also, and we've bought and we're buying Wells Fargo stock, and that takes me out of the business of buying Wells Fargo. So therefore I go into something that I don't like quite as well, but that I still like very much. And that's one of the problems I have, is that I can't be buying what Berkshire is buying, and I've got some money around, and therefore I go into my second choices or into tiny little companies like I did with Korean companies and that sort of thing. But my best ideas are all in Berkshire, that I can promise you. Charlie? Charlie's bought real estate too and different things and to avoid that problem.
Yeah, but basically the Munger family's in two or three things only. Diversification is my idea of not something I have practically no interest in, except as it happens automatically in a big place like Berkshire. I rejoiced the day I got rid of a quote, a stock quoting machine. And I like this buy and hold investing. It's a lovely way to live a life, and you deal with a better class of people. And it's worked pretty well for all of us. So, and I don't think you need to worry about Warren's side investments. His investments through Berkshire are so huge, and those are so small relatively that if that's your main problem in life, you have a very favored life.
Well, if you have 98.5% of your money in Berkshire, and you really are trying to do your thinking about what's best for the 1.5%, you're a little bit crazy. You should be thinking about Berkshire, which I can assure you I do. But that, there could be.
And he does like Wells Fargo better than JP Morgan.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And we have 400 and some million shares of Wells Fargo in Berkshire. And I think I like JP Morgan fine, obviously, but I know Wells better. It's easier to understand. So, we bought Wells Fargo in the first quarter. We bought Wells Fargo last year. We bought it a lot of years. And if I wasn't managing Berkshire, but instead was sitting with my own money, I'd have a lot of money in Wells Fargo, and I'd probably have some money in JP Morgan too.